Hello and welcome to my first video in my ZBrush Basic Sculpting Series. In this first video, I'm going to be going over the user interface for ZBrush. If you know anything about ZBrush, I'm sure you've heard a lot of complaints about it. Most people replace this user interface with their own customized user interface within like the first month or so. But when you're just starting out, you don't know what you want. So I'm going to be going over what ZBrush gives you right from the get-go. So when you open it up, the first thing you're going to see is this homepage. It's just basic news and stuff. You can make sure this never pops up again by going into preferences. Just exit out of it. The next thing you're going to see is the Lightbox. That's this box right here. So you can toggle that by going up to Lightbox and clicking it. When you're starting a project, you're going to want to click one of these because otherwise when you try and draw in ZBrush, you get all these ridiculous squares, which is not very helpful. Control Z will get rid of that. Back to Lightbox, I recommend double clicking on a Dynamesh sphere. That's what I normally start with for most of my sculpts. And here we are. So now I'm in edit mode. I want to talk about this because if you fall out of edit mode, you get a lot of really funny problems. So you can click on edit or you can click on T on your keyboard. That'll toggle it in and out. When it's highlighted, it is active. So when you're in edit mode, you're in sculpting mode is a better way to put it. So now if I draw my sphere, whatever brush I have is active is working. Now, if it's not active, so click T or click on Edit, you end up just drawing spheres, and it's very rapidly chaos, and it was very frustrating for me when I first started. So in order to fix that, just go back into Edit mode, and now you have this mess. And it's like, wait, which one's active? This one's active. That's not very helpful. So hit Control N, and that will refresh your document. You can also go up to Document and do that as well. But I recommend instead of going here to new document, get used to using hotkeys. If you're like me, for whatever reason, I was against using hotkeys. I didn't want to have to worry about it. I really recommend you just get used to it. It's going to speed up your workflow, and that's kind of the language that most sculptors work in, if that makes sense. So now that I have a new document, I want to get closer to my object here. So clicking F on your keyboard will bring it into frame, which is great because say if you get zoomed out and you get all chaos, you can click F and it comes back. I'm going to be talking about the zoom features really quick so you know how to move around as well. So this is for your canvas. Your canvas is different than your sculpt. The canvas is the box that you're seeing your sculpt in. So if you can see this little gray edge here, it can disappear. You don't usually want to move that. You want to keep it on actual. Now, if you want to actually move your model, that's down here, which is a little funky. And when you make your own custom UI, you'll probably fix that. So that's one of the biggest quirks. So again, to recap, if you fall out of edit mode and get this mess, just make sure to click back onto edit mode with T or clicking it, and then Control N for a new document. You can always reframe by clicking on F. It's a lot of information. I totally understand it's a little overwhelming. But those are the fundamentals you really need to know to get started with sculpting. In the next video, I'm going to be talking about the brush palette, which you can pull up with B. It's very intimidating. It freaked me out when I first saw it. So I'll talk about that in the next video. Thanks so much for joining, and now you know how to start a sculpt. If you have any other questions about the user interface, feel free to comment below and I'll get to it as soon as I can. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.